Welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint podcast. You know, we like to go deep on certain topics.
Yeah.
And today we're diving into American Gold Eagle IRAs. There's a lot of buzz
Oh, yeah.
about this and how they could add stability
Uh-huh.
and shine to your retirement portfolio.
Especially now.
Especially now.
Yeah, with all this economic uncertainty going around.
You know, it's a fascinating strategy.
It is, and it's gaining traction.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
You know, you think about it.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
holding actual gold coins
Yeah.
backed by the U.S. government.
Wow, within your retirement savings.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of people find that tangible aspect
Yeah.
really appealing.
It is, and it's not just any gold coin.
Right.
We're talking about American Gold Eagles.
Exactly. American Gold Eagles.
Right.
These are minted by the U.S. Mint and carry legal tender status.
That's huge.
Yeah, it adds another layer of reassurance for investors.
For sure. So let's break it down. For our listeners who are new to this concept,
Yeah.
what exactly is an American Gold Eagle IRA?
Well, at its core, it's a self-directed IRA,
Yeah.
which means you have more control over your investment choices
Right.
compared to a traditional IRA,
Yeah.
where you're often limited to stocks and bonds and mutual funds.
Right. More traditional assets.
Yeah, with an American Gold Eagle IRA, you're choosing to invest,
Okay.
specifically in these government-backed gold coins.
So you're taking the reins of your retirement savings
You got it.
and steering them towards something tangible and historically valuable.
That's a great way to put it.
And speaking of valuable,
Oh, yeah.
we have a fantastic free checklist available
Where can they find that?
at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
Perfect.
It can really help you compare different gold IRA companies
Yeah.
and find one that aligns with your needs.
Yeah, for sure. So, going back to those investment choices,
Yeah.
why would someone opt for an American Gold Eagle IRA
Okay.
over other types of gold investments?
Okay. That's a great question.
It seems like there's a growing interest in gold
Yeah,
as a way to diversify a retirement portfolio.
for sure. Are you seeing that as well?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
One of the biggest draws is the potential for portfolio diversification.
Okay.
Think of your retirement portfolio like a recipe.
Okay.
You wouldn't want just one ingredient, would you?
No. You need a balance of flavors to be satisfying.
Exactly. It's the same with your investments.
Okay.
Diversification is key to managing risk.
Yeah.
By adding gold to the mix,
Uh-huh.
you're potentially creating a counterbalance to
Right.
the ups and downs of the stock market.
So it's like adding a dash of stability to your retirement recipe.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good way to put it.
Was it-
Gold historically has not moved in lockstep with the stock market.
Interesting.
So when stocks go down,
Oh,
gold might hold its value or even go up.
all right.
This can help buffer your portfolio against those inevitable market fluctuations.
That's great. Okay, so diversification is a major plus.
Yeah.
But what about this whole gold as a hedge against inflation thing?
Oh, yeah.
People talk about that a lot.
Right.
I'm not sure I fully understand it.
It's worth exploring.
Yeah.
So let's imagine you need a loaf of bread.
Okay.
Okay. 10 years ago,
Oh,
that loaf might have cost $2.
okay.
Today, it might be $3.
Yeah.
Or even more.
Right.
That's inflation in action.
Ugh. I hate it.
Your dollar doesn't buy as much as it used to.
Yeah, I can see that at the grocery store these days.
But here's the thing about gold.
Okay.
Historically, during periods of inflation,
Yeah.
the price of gold has tended to rise.
Interesting.
It's like a built-in protection mechanism
Okay.
against the eroding purchasing power of the dollar.
So by holding gold, you're kind of safeguarding your savings
Yes.
from being eaten away by inflation.
Precisely.
Okay.
It helps preserve your buying power over the long term.
Okay.
Think of it as maintaining the value of your nest egg, even as the cost of goods and services continues to climb.
That makes a lot of sense.
Good.
Now, aside from diversification and inflation hedging,
Right.
is there anything else that makes American Gold Eagle IRAs particularly appealing?
Well, there's also the safe haven aspect.
Oh.
When there's global uncertainty,
Oh.
think financial crises,
Yeah.
geopolitical tensions,
Yeah.
even pandemics.
Right.
People often turn to gold
Okay.
as a store of value.
Okay.
It's seen as a reliable asset
Right.
that holds its worth even when other markets
Yeah.
are in turmoil.
So it's like a financial anchor in stormy seas.
I like that
It's
analogy.
a good one, right?
Yeah, it's that sense of security and stability
Right.
that draws many investors to gold,
Yeah.
especially as they plan for their retirement years.
Of course.
Yeah.
And of course, we can't forget about the potential for growth.
Of course not.
Gold prices can fluctuate.
Yeah.
But historically, they've shown an upward trend over the long term.
For the most part.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the why
Yeah.
of an American Gold Eagle IRA.
Right.
But I'm sure our listeners are curious about the how.
Okay.
If someone's convinced and wants to set one up, what are the steps involved?
It's a pretty straightforward process.
Okay, good.
Especially if you have the right guidance.
Yeah.
There are 4 key steps.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay. First, you need to choose a custodian.
Okay.
This is a company that will hold and manage your IRA assets, specifically the American Gold Eagles.
Yeah.
In this case, it's crucial to choose a reputable custodian that specializes in self-directed IRAs.
Right.
And that has a solid track record.
Okay, now remember,
Yeah.
we have that free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive
Yes, a great resource.
to help you compare those different gold IRA companies and choose a custodian.
It really is.
That aligns with your needs. That checklist is like having a roadmap
It is.
for this whole process.
Yeah. Once you've selected a custodian, the next step is funding your account.
Okay.
You can do this with a cash contribution or by rolling over funds from an existing retirement account,
Okay.
like a 401k or a traditional IRA.
So you don't necessarily have to start from scratch.
Not at all.
You can move your existing retirement savings into this type of IRA
Right.
and gain those potential benefits.
Exactly. And then, of course, you need to actually purchase those American Gold Eagles.
Oh, yeah, the fun part.
Right. Your custodian can help facilitate this.
Okay.
Make sure you're buying IRS-approved coins.
That's good. Choosing a custodian, funding the account, buying the coins.
Yep.
What's the final step?
The final step is ensuring those precious coins are stored properly.
Okay.
IRS regulations require that your gold be held in an approved depository, not just tucked away in a safe at home.
Got it.
Your custodian can advise you on reputable depositories that meet IRS standards.
So it sounds like that custodian relationship is really important.
Oh, it's very important.
They're like your guide
They are.
and protector in this world of gold IRAs.
Absolutely. Choosing the right custodian can make all the difference.
Yeah.
In feeling confident and secure with your investment.
For sure. So we've covered the why and the how of American Gold Eagle IRAs.
We have.
But let's shift gears a bit and talk about what happens down the road
Okay.
when you're ready to retire
Yeah.
and start using that hard-earned nest egg.
Okay.
How does cashing out an American Gold Eagle IRA work?
That's where things get interesting. You actually have several options when it comes to accessing your funds.
Oh, okay.
One option is to simply sell your Gold Eagles.
Okay.
You can do this through coin shops or online dealers or even auctions. The amount you'd receive would depend on the current market price of gold at the time of sale.
So you'd be converting your gold back into cash.
Exactly.
Hopefully at a profit.
Right.
If gold prices have risen since your initial investment.
Yeah, and remember those fluctuations in gold prices? They can work in your favor when you're on the selling end.
Right. Okay.
But selling isn't the only route you can take.
Okay.
You could also choose to transfer your Gold Eagles to a different dealer. This is a bit like trading in a car.
Okay.
You're essentially exchanging your coins for something else of value.
Oh.
Through a dealer who specializes in IRA-approved precious metals.
So it's not about cashing out.
Right.
But rather shifting your assets within the precious metals market.
It sounds like having a knowledgeable custodian who can connect you with reputable dealers is essential here.
Absolutely.
You want to ensure that any dealer you work with understands the complexities of IRA transactions and handles everything according to IRS regulations.
Of course. And speaking of the IRS,
oh, yes,
we should touch on the tax implications of cashing out an American Gold Eagle IRA.
Sure.
Taxes are always a key consideration.
Always.
When it comes to retirement planning.
Yes.
Can you give us a quick overview of what someone should expect when they start withdrawing funds?
Sure, of course. With traditional IRAs, which include those holding American Gold Eagles,
right,
the money you withdraw in retirement is generally taxed as ordinary income.
So you'd be paying taxes on those withdrawals at your regular income tax rate.
Correct. What happens if you need to access those funds before retirement age?
That's a good question. That's when those early withdrawal penalties might come into play.
Exactly.
If you take money out of a traditional IRA before age 59 and a half, you'll typically face a 10% penalty on top of your usual income tax.
That's a big chunk of change.
Yeah, it is. So it pays to plan ahead.
Yeah.
And try to avoid dipping into those funds before retirement.
For sure. Are there any exceptions?
Yeah.
Are there?
Right.
To that penalty?
Yeah.
There are a few specific situations where the penalty might be waived.
Okay.
Like disability or using the funds for a first-time home purchase.
Oh, right.
But it's always best to consult with a tax professional to see if you qualify for any exceptions.
That's good advice. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Yes.
When it comes to navigating those tax rules.
Absolutely. Now, what about those required minimum distributions?
Oh, yeah. I've heard about those.
Or RMDs.
RMDs.
Yeah.
Those seem to be a big deal for retirees.
They are. They apply to traditional IRAs, including those holding American Gold Eagles. Once you reach age 73, you're required to start taking minimum distributions each year. It's the government's way of ensuring that you eventually pay taxes on that tax-deferred money.
Right. And the penalties for missing an RMD are pretty steep, right?
They are. The penalty for not taking your required RMD is a hefty 50% excise tax on the amount you should have withdrawn.
Okay, so that's definitely something you want to stay on top of.
For sure.
It sounds like having a good understanding of those tax rules
Yes.
is crucial when planning for retirement.
It really is.
It might even be worth talking to a tax advisor.
Oh, yeah.
To make sure you're making the most informed decisions.
For sure. And remember, you can find resources and tools to help you with this process.
Where?
At goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
There it is again.
Yep. We have that free checklist available to help guide you through the world of gold IRAs.
It's a good one. Now, if someone isn't quite ready to cash out their American Gold Eagle IRA, are there other options?
There are.
What if they want to keep their investment in gold, but maybe explore different avenues?
That's a great question. There are alternatives to cashing out.
Okay, good. Let's hear it.
One option is to take a distribution in physical gold.
Okay.
Instead of receiving cash.
Yeah.
You'd actually take possession of those American Gold Eagle coins.
So you could have your gold and hold it too.
Exactly. You could hold those tangible assets in your hand while still adhering to IRS guidelines.
Okay.
Of course, you'd want to store them securely in a reputable depository to protect your investment.
Right, of course.
But it's a way to have direct control over your gold.
Okay, so that's one option.
Yeah.
Now, another alternative to cashing out is converting to a self-directed IRA.
That's right.
We briefly mentioned self-directed IRAs earlier. Can you remind us how they differ from traditional IRAs?
Sure. Unlike traditional IRAs, which typically limit your investment options to stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, self-directed IRAs offer a wider range of choices.
Like what?
Think real estate, precious metals, beyond just gold, private businesses, and even in some cases, cryptocurrency.
Wow.
It gives you much more control and flexibility to tailor your retirement portfolio to your specific risk tolerance and financial goals.
So you could convert your American Gold Eagle IRA into a self-directed IRA.
You could.
And then branch out into other investments
that
align with your overall retirement strategy.
Precisely. It opens up a world of possibilities.
That's exciting.
For those who want to think outside the traditional retirement investing box.
Are there any other alternatives to cashing out?
One more to consider
is
exchanging your American Gold Eagles for other precious metals within your IRA.
So diversifying within the precious metals category itself.
Exactly. You could explore options like silver, platinum, or palladium.
Okay.
Each metal has its unique supply and demand dynamics. So diversifying your holdings within the precious metals sector can potentially help stabilize your overall returns.
That makes sense. It's like diversifying within a diversified asset class.
Exactly.
So we have three main alternatives to cashing out. Taking physical possession of those shiny gold coins, converting to a self-directed IRA for a broader investment playground, or diversifying your precious metals holdings. By exchanging your gold eagles for other metals.
That's a great summary. And it's important to remember that all of these decisions should be made in consultation with a financial advisor.
Of course.
To ensure you're making the best choices for your unique situation and goals.
Because everyone's financial picture is different.
It is.
And what works for one person might not work for another.
Exactly. And that's where seeking expert guidance can be invaluable.
Absolutely. Speaking of expert guidance,
Okay.
let's touch on the actual process of cashing out.
All right.
We've discussed the different options.
Yeah.
But what are the practical steps involved?
Okay.
What does someone actually need to do to access their funds?
The first step, regardless of which option you choose, is to contact your IRA custodian.
Okay.
They are your go-to guide throughout this process.
Right. The custodian, the company that's been safeguarding those American Gold Eagles within your IRA.
Exactly.
They're like the gatekeepers, ensuring everything is done by the book.
That's right. So once you contact your custodian, you'll need to let them know you're considering a distribution.
Okay.
And specify whether you want to sell your coins to transfer them or roll over your IRA into a Roth.
So you're initiating the process.
Yeah.
And outlining your intentions.
Right.
Then what?
Your custodian will guide you through the specific steps
Got it.
required for your chosen option.
Got it.
If you decide to sell your Gold Eagles, they can likely connect you with reputable coin shops or online dealers who buy American Gold Eagles. You can also do some research on your own to find a dealer you're comfortable with.
And I imagine it's important to compare prices.
It is.
From different dealers to make sure you're getting a fair deal for your gold.
Absolutely. Gold prices can fluctuate.
Right.
So it's wise to shop around and see who's offering the best rate at the time you're ready to sell.
Okay, so once you've found a buyer, what's next?
You'll provide your IRA custodian with the dealer's information. And they'll handle the transfer of the gold coins from the depository to the dealer. It's a seamless process as long as you have a reliable custodian.
Right. It sounds like the custodian really plays a central role.
They do.
In orchestrating this whole transaction.
Yeah. What about if someone chooses to transfer their Gold Eagles to a different dealer instead of selling them?
Is that process similar?
It is very similar.
Okay.
The main difference is that instead of receiving cash, you're essentially trading your coins for something else of value through the new dealer. It could be other precious metals or perhaps even other assets that are permitted within a self-directed IRA.
So it's like a strategic swap.
Exactly.
Within the investment landscape.
Yeah, but I imagine it's still crucial to choose a reputable dealer.
It is.
Who specializes in handling IRA-approved assets.
Absolutely. You want to be certain that the new dealer understands the intricacies of IRA transactions and will handle everything correctly.
Yes. And as always, your custodian can be a valuable resource in recommending reputable dealers who meet those criteria.
So it really comes back to that custodian relationship.
It does.
Having a trusted partner to guide you through these decisions.
For sure. Now let's talk about that third option. Rolling over your American Gold Eagle IRA into a Roth IRA.
How does that work logistically?
It's a bit more complex than selling or transferring. Because you're essentially converting your traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. Which has different tax implications.
Right. We touched on that earlier. How Roth IRA withdrawals can be tax-free in retirement. Which is a huge advantage.
Huge. But there's also that upfront tax hit. When you convert from a traditional to a Roth. Exactly. You have to pay taxes on the amount. You convert from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA.
It's
like prepaying your taxes in exchange for tax-free income later on.
So it's a trade-off.
It is.
That might make sense for some people. But not for others.
Correct.
Depending on their circumstances and financial goals.
Exactly. And as always, it's essential to consult with a tax advisor. Before making this decision to make sure it aligns with your overall retirement plan.
Of course. And just like with selling or transferring, your custodian will play a key role in facilitating the rollover process.
They will.
Ensuring everything is done correctly. And in compliance with IRS rules.
Absolutely. It sounds like choosing the right custodian from the outset.
It is.
One of the most important steps in this whole journey.
You want someone who is knowledgeable, trustworthy, and can be a steadfast guide.
For sure.
Through these sometimes complex transactions.
I couldn't agree more. A solid custodian relationship can bring a lot of peace of mind when you're dealing with something as important as your retirement savings.
Absolutely.
And speaking of finding the right custodian, let's remind our listeners about that free checklist. We have available at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
It's a good one.
It's a fantastic tool for comparing different gold IRA companies side by side.
It's a great way to simplify that decision-making process.
It is.
And find a custodian that aligns with your needs and preferences.
For sure. So as we wrap up this deep dive
Yes.
into American Gold Eagle IRAs,
Yeah.
what are some key takeaways?
Yeah. What are some key takeaways you'd like our listeners to remember?
Well, I think the main takeaway
Okay.
is that American Gold Eagle IRAs offer a unique way to diversify your retirement portfolio with a tangible asset backed by the U.S. government.
Okay.
They can potentially hedge against inflation, provide a sense of stability during times of economic uncertainty,
Right.
and offer the potential for long-term growth.
It's like adding a layer of security and resilience to your retirement plan.
Which is especially appealing in today's ever-changing world.
Right.
But it's essential to do your homework.
Yeah.
Understand the tax implications, and choose a reputable custodian to guide you through the process.
Right.
That free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive
Here it
is a great starting point for gathering information and comparing different options.
It's a great resource.
Yeah.
So as we leave our listeners with one final thought,
Okay.
considering the current economic landscape with all its twists and turns,
Yeah.
what role could gold play in your retirement strategy?
That's a question worth pondering as you chart your course towards a financially secure and fulfilling retirement.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
Into American Gold Eagle IRAs.
Yeah.
We hope you found it informative and empowering.
I hope so too.
Until next time, happy investing.